There are a few noticeable things that make Firewatch a great and a memorable game. One of them is the defying of expectations. What starts off as an ordinary and boring walking simulator quickly turns into a highly immersive story of espionage, multiple plot twists, excellent narrative experience, fantastic exploration, and exciting running. Yes, I found the running aspect of this game actually exciting and fun. One of the other few things that make Firewatch a great game is its wonderful art direction. The graphics and visuals are truly captivating. There are no quick-time events or any immersion-breaking moments in this game that make you lose interest in this game. The story itself is excellent. You play a man called Henry who takes the job of a fire lookout in a forest after his wife starts suffering from dementia. Over the course of the game, Henry is in constant communication with his boss Delilah, who also works as a fire lookout in a different tower. Just when they think that they're all alone in the big forest, they start getting followed and spied upon by a potentially dangerous and unknown person. Henceforth, an ordinary walking simulator turns into a cat and mouse game of mystery and exploration. It is up to Henry to then figure out what is going on and make sure he does not get captured or killed by this unknown stalker. The voice acting is top notch, and how it's implemented allows the player to flesh out the characters' backgrounds, personalities, and quirks. The story of this game rings better to a mature audience. Firstly, you meet adult themes in the game like death, separation, forgiveness, dementia, tragedy, etc. Secondly, you connect better with this game than other games like Dear Esther, as you are in constant radio contact with another person by the name Delilah over the course of the game. But again, the gameplay consists of walking from point A to point B, then point B to point C. Is that interesting? You be the judge. The problem with most narrative games is that they're extremely lacking in either narrative or gameplay. They fail at storytelling and action. With the former, they typically have the player follow a predetermined, linear storyline in which they have no stake and thus no involvement. These games fail in the latter by offering absolutely no challenge. There's no tension, there's no suspense, there's no mystery. Even taken as glorified walking simulators, they more often lead the player to make up for the lack of anything else through vacant set pieces that ultimately all look the same. That was the case on games like Gone Home. In all fairness, this description would probably describe Firewatch as well. In truth, like other walking simulators, there are no real puzzles in this game and no real danger. Similarly, while there is some variety of places, in the end the entirety of the game has you hiking through the forest, and there's only so much you can do to disguise that fact. The big difference between Firewatch and most of its competitors is that it is so well written as to disguise the failing of its genre. Unfortunately, to go into detail about the story would unfairly ruin the experience for anyone who hasn't played it. Let it suffice to say that it is one of the better paced stories of any game, narrative or otherwise, and features both excellent dialogue writing and voice acting. While ultimately the game still lacks an actual threat or challenge, nonetheless the story is presented so well that I was well engaged by the sense of threat and mystery as the story played out. The writing leads the player to invest themselves in the character, which only makes the unfolding of the mystery all the more captivating. While some people found the ending disappointing, I thought it was an interesting take on how we handle our responsibilities when faced with tragedy. Having said this, Firewatch does suffer from one major problem that is common to its genre. It lacks in replayability. While it has a strong story, it does not lend itself to repetition. Doing so and knowing how the story will end, you'll find this game has lost its allure, its mystery, its magic, and you're left again with a rather lackluster game where you blindly follow the trail until you reach the end of the game. One another common complaint that many critics gave this game was that it was short. Given that you can get through this game in 3 or 4 hours, A fair argument could be made that one does not get a fair value for their dollar. The developers have tried hard to balance this out by offering both a play with commentary mode and a free roam mode that unlocks after you complete the story. First time. Myself, though, I was quite pleased with my purchase. I got an interesting and well told story through some excellent voice acting and placed in a graphically excellent environment. I do feel that my time and money were well spent. Firewatch is an excellent example of a genre that other narrative games consistently fail to achieve. In conclusion, I will recommend this game for people that like a one playthrough experience and favor atmosphere over gameplay. If you liked my review, please like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more reviews. Till next time, guys, take care.